Hey, what is going on? You are watching and listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live version. I'm your host, Steve V. This is episode 322 alongside Kodi Maurice Doggette. How are you?
Hello, darling. I'm doing well. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing okay. It's snowing outside now,
Is
apparently.
it?
Yeah, I just
I
got a
didn't
little
even notice.
notice. Yeah. It's so cold. I have my heater on, but I'm cozy here. And also, I just got my booster shot yesterday. Yeah,
Ooh.
jabbed for the third time. But I was a little bit under the
I
weather
think it's a
today.
little bit more than that. I think it's a little, you've been jabbed a little bit more than that.
Yeah. Believe me, this wasn't what I wanted. It was what I wanted, but yeah. So it's paying the price today. I, for whatever reason, am one of those people that have reactions to this. The
Yeah.
next day, I'm like,
Hmm.
I was all day. I was just not feeling great, but I'm feeling a little
Aw.
bit better, but a little under the weather today. But that's okay because we've got a great show for you.
I'm glad you're here with us right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And instead of a cocktail, I have a mocktail in our.
Aw. Oh
Yeah,
my
I
goodness, you
know.
really are under the weather. You have a
Oh, I
mocktail.
know.
Oh,
Teddy
do you want me to
watching
bring you
us.
some soup?
But it's really good. I already had soup and I have soup ready to go. As soon as I'm done, I have my blankets, so I'm good to go.
Okay. All
But
right.
let's get into this. We've got a whole show ahead of you
Okay.
that I'm really excited about.
I'm ready.
And there's a brand new, we've been talking about TikTok trends, and we were doing the underwear challenge, take off your
Mm-hmm.
underwear challenge in big baggy shorts, which I
Yep.
was all here for. And on last week's after show, I said I might give it a shot. I might try it.
Oh,
Yeah, but instead of a mocktail, I'll
okay.
be having a cocktail doing it. Or maybe I should have the mocktail because I don't want to trip over my
No,
shorts.
no, no. Please, please. I think for everybody's entertainment, have that cocktail and
Yeah, and go
it'll
for
be
it.
it'll be wonderful.
Yeah. So I will try that. Well, there's over the summer, there was a TikTok trend of guys rolling barbells with weights on them over their asses and
Oh,
to kind
yes.
of show if they had an ass. If the barbell
Hmm.
stopped, that meant they had a nice juicy ass, which I'm
Ample.
sure you're a big
Yes.
fan of, right? That's
I have watched those for hours and hours upon hours. I love those. So if make as many of those as you can.
Well, the kids keep coming up with new things, and the
They
latest
do.
one is about the bulges. So it's the same thing. They're on a gym floor mat, and they've got a barbell filled with like 245 plates on either side, and the one guy's laying on the mat, and he has a
Hmm.
bulge, like he fluffed himself up, I guess. And the other guy's job is to it's like stupid pet tricks, right? Like too much
Yeah.
time on your hands,
Real
right? But
stupid.
hey, it's TikTok. And they roll the barbell. And the idea being in the video that I have, I'll post this on TAGSPodcast.com for you guys, is
Hmm.
the barbell stops with the bulge. And then the guy, of course, is winking into the camera, going wink, wink. You know what I mean? Like I stopped it with my big bulge. Are you here for this one, or is this a little
No.
too dangerous, you think, to try at home? Like, don't do this at home. And by the way, Cody, who's
Yes.
going to be doing this? Would you do this in your neighborhood gym? And wouldn't people be looking at you like, what the hell is going on?
Well, first and foremost, I wouldn't care who is looking at me. I want to try the one where you roll it and see if you have an ample booty because I often wonder if I have an ample booty enough to stop a dumbbell. So
I
maybe
think
we
you
can do that
do,
one
kind of.
together.
We could do that one
Thanks. Thank
together.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could do it in my gym downstairs some
Okay.
night because I have a gym in my building that I live in. And inevitably, certain times of the day, night,
Hmm.
it's not that busy. So we could try it there,
Okay.
actually. And
Let's do it.
maybe before or after one of our tags live, when you come over here, we'll do
Yes.
it. We'll go down there and chances are no one's going to be down there except the cameras and the doorman watching
Who
this
cares?
whole. Yeah, exactly. They'll be
Who cares?
who
We love
cares,
it.
right?
We love
Yeah,
the attention, honey.
we'll try it. We'll have to fluff. You'll have to fluff yourself up, and I'll have to fluff myself up.
Oh no,
Oh,
I'm not here for the front.
oh,
I'm
I'm
only
gonna
here for
do
the
the
back.
front.
Oh,
I'm
are
gonna do the
you?
yeah.
They put socks in their pants. That is
Did they?
not.
Are you
I'm
sure?
100%. I know what a real penis looks like, and it is not that.
Well, I just got my favorite new toy from Dr. Joel
Oh.
Kaplan, and it's a penis enlargement pump. It looks
Oh,
very
it's a
dangerous.
doctor's one.
Yeah, and it's got like all of these like different size pumps that you can put on, and this is going to be what I'm going to be doing during the Christmas holiday is pumping away. And I bet if I
Oh.
pump, it says on Dr. Joel Kaplan's male enlargement pump that you can gain 1 to 3 inches in length and get 25% thicker girth.
Oh, nice.
But look at the picture though. It's really serious. It's like a
It looks
science
very
experiment
scientific. Yeah.
on your dick. I mean, what is this contraption here in this? I mean, is it gonna? It better not blow up in my face. I mean, my dick better not blow up. Yeah, I don't know, but
I'll let
I
you
think
try it out first.
right. I'm gonna try it, and then we can try it. I'll try that challenge, and then we'll let you guys know. But yeah, I'm here for it too. And if I do it, but it's just a little dangerous, I think, right?
And that's what I just told Teddy. I was like, I'm not. He's like, what about your big dick energy? And I was like, definitely have the big dick energy, but I'm not trying to injure myself. I would like kids at some point. These people don't deserve to reproduce because they're doing this.
Well, I
So
mean, I would trust you. So you can't just like slam it at me. The
no,
point. You would go
they're
lightly, and then it would
they're
just be
patty.
like
It's gonna hurt
boom.
regardless. My nuts are very sensitive, so I'm not
Okay,
doing this.
I'll do this one, even though it's
Okay.
dumb. But
I'll do the
uh,
booty one, and then we can do the take off your underwear in the shorts
challenge. Oh
together.
wow,
Yeah,
we'll have
we'll have a couple. We got a night filled,
well,
a
let's do this
fun-filled night
soon
planned.
before I
Yes.
leave for the Christmas holiday back to the
Oh,
Bay Area. I don't leave till the
okay.
23rd, so let's plan this if
All
we
right.
can. A little Christmas celebration. Okay, well, let's move on. I couldn't help but talk about this story. It just was everything to me. There,
Yeah.
you know the gay wrestler Anthony Bowens? Well, he and his boyfriend stand up to anti-gay protesters with an epic kiss. So when professional wrestler Anthony Bowens and his boyfriend, YouTube star Michael Pavano, came across a homophobic group of protesters recently, they decided to kiss the hate away in a very public lip lock right on the spot. And while the anti-LGBTQ plus protesters stood aghast at Bowens and
Mhm.
Pavano kissing proudly and unafraid, the lovely pair received a tsunami of support for their brave act
Yay.
in the face
Love
of
it.
bigotry when they posted a pic of the event to social media.
Good for them.
And he is Bowens is not new to this. He publicly came out as bisexual in 2017, but
Hmm.
now identifies as gay. And he spoke to Sports Illustrated back in 2019 about the importance of his role in the sport, representing and affirming the LGBTQ plus community. And
Mm.
lastly, he's quoted as saying, "It means something when a person can see someone that looks like them, gets them, and understands what they're going through." Bowens, 30 at the time, told Sports Illustrated. You know what I
Nice.
loved about this is, yeah, we've seen a lot of sports figures come out and really
Hmm.
stand up for it, but this was really putting it into action, because imagine being amongst hateful protesters of
Yeah.
anti-LGBTQ plus, and I think it takes huge balls to kind of do that in front of them. Not that they were going to be, this wasn't a violent attack, I don't
Yes.
believe in any way. They were simply protesting against LGBTQ plus. However, I do think that um, who's going to come for Bowens, right?
Exactly.
The
He's
way he
so
looks.
burly and muscly, and I follow him on Insta because they're both so adorable. So I was so happy when I read this story. It's so heartwarming. And he's such a great role model.
Yeah,
And what a way to fight the hate is with love, and you show them that love is the answer. So I'm here for him. So I followed him.
absolutely.
I might follow his boyfriend too. I should go do it right now because
Yeah, right. You probably
they're
should
both
follow
so cute.
both. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
both really cool. I'll post a story on TAGSPodcast.com as well because I just couldn't help it. That was a really good one.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. Well, moving on, we've got two stories for you that kind of have to do with drag. Both, no, they do have to do with drag.
My wet dream.
Yeah, right. No. The first is a brand new contestant on the upcoming drag race season. I think we're up to season 14. Cody,
We
you're a
are.
huge
Yep.
super fan,
I
correct?
am a super fan.
Okay,
Season
well,
14.
Maddie Morphis opens up about a controversial drag race casting because Maddie is the Emmy winning reality drag. Well, Maddie is joining the cast of season 14 of Drag Race, which I believe starts in January. And Maddie is a cisgender, is straight essentially, right?
Yes. A
Yeah.
straight cisgender male. Yes.
Yeah, he's straight though. It's for all
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I was just like, and he's quoted. I was just like getting too caught up in all the cisgender this, but he's quoted as saying, "While I am straight, I don't consider myself a straight drag queen. I'm just a drag queen who happens to be straight." Maddie said during the official Meet the Queens live stream event last week. Quote, "My sexuality doesn't define the drag that I do. It doesn't impact that. It's just a facet of who I am outside of drag." And lastly, I think my being on the show can tap into a lot of the guys watching at home, like cisgender straight guys, and really just like projecting to them gender is completely arbitrary. So
Nice.
he tells people to just be yourself. And Cody, I guess I got to get your opinion on this because you're such a super
Okay.
fan
I
of
got a lot
it.
to say.
Yeah, well, I'm here for it. There is some controversy, of course, on Twitter for people coming like, why, as if it doesn't validate many a drag queen's legacy, because many drag queens say it was drag that has saved them, and it's that one safe space that they've really been able to keep to themselves and transform themselves as an entertainer.
Yeah.
And so some people have felt that he is not mocking their drag, but that it's kind of refuting their drag essentially. And I don't. I mean that's what people are saying on Twitter, I
Yeah.
think, and
No, I
that's why
get it.
people are mad. Yeah,
I get it. And I don't want to invalidate anybody's experience. If that's how they feel, I'm okay with that. They're allowed to feel however they feel. I just don't see the use in them trying to drag down somebody else to raise themselves up. So I say focus on the people that you love rather than the people that you hate. There are two transgender female contestants, openly transgender. This is the first time ever that an openly transgender female has been on the show.
as opposed to last season, which had got Mick. How is that different?
These are transgender females as opposed
Oh,
to
okay. Oh,
Gottmik was a
yes, got it.
transgender male.
There you go. Got it.
So I think those two transgender females should be celebrated. Say Carrie Colby and Cornbread the Snack should taste names more and amplify their names instead of trying to drag down. He's
Say
just
their
getting more
names
press.
again.
Carrie Colby and Cornbread the Snack Jete. And I cannot wait to see both these
I
queens.
love those names, especially cornbread.
Right? Sounds
Whatever.
delicious.
It does sound
Cornbread the
delicious.
Snack
I want some
Jete.
cornbread right now. Can I get that with my soup a little bit later, please?
I mean, it goes really good with soup. Oh, what kind of soup you got, by the way?
Actually, it's ramen. It wouldn't go with it. So
cornbread goes with anything, girl.
Okay, I could make it work. Believe me. Yeah, I'm here for it. I think we were talking offline that drag has been around forever, and in fact, La Caja Falls often featured straight men, right? Just men in general.
Sure.
Drag is drag, and so I love at season 14 Emmy. How many Emmys? My goodness, has RuPaul won with this? it's it's opening up people's eyes and really getting into many more homes. And I think RuPaul has to open it up to show the varied facets of drag. It's not just,
I could not agree more. It's
yeah,
just another form of inclusion. If you're saying that you should have AFAB queens and trans queens, then this is another logical step or facet of drag that you should include in Drag Race.
right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see though if this what's this person's name? What, Maddie?
Maddie Morphosis, yes.
It'll be interesting because there's always a lingo and a style of talk
Uh-huh.
that not that they all have the same, but they know how to
Yeah,
read. And I'm wondering, is Maddie going to know how to read somebody that is
I can't
often
wait.
known in our culture,
Yeah,
LGBTQ plus culture, not necessarily in straight culture? So,
exactly.
and this is a white straight man, so it'll be interesting to see how he does in some of these challenges. And the other thing which will be interesting is the show really does a good job of pulling out various sides of each contestant and making them vulnerable. So I
Yeah,
will be interested and curious to hear his story on how he came to
me
drag.
too. And how he relates to the other queens. That is such a
Yeah.
great point. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of it is cattiness, bitchiness, shade, reading, and all those things are within our community. But the thing about drag, I mean, Master Joshua, who's been on our show so many
Mhm,
times, and he's definitely not gay, and I don't know what he
mhm.
goes by, so I don't want to say, but I know he's not considered a gay man. He's never said that to me, but
Okay.
has tried drag, and he loves
Oh.
the experience. If you go on some of his social media at Master Joshua, it might be at Master Joshua, you'll see when he's done drag before, and he's had such a cathartic experience before doing drag, and emotional even. And it's just been such an amazing process to see. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see
That's
how,
amazing.
yeah, the guy that fisted Steve is straight. He did. He never actually fisted me, Master Joshua. We did fire play and a lot of a lot of flogging. Oh, and
Okay.
the bullwhip and things of that nature. But fire play was really hot. And yeah, no, he's very sexually explorative. And yeah, so I don't think you have to be one sexuality to be drag, but I will be curious to see how Maddie fits into the whole, the reading and all that kind of stuff.
I couldn't agree more. And I know a lot of straight men that watch Drag Race. People have come up to me, straight guys have come up to me at parties and been like, "Oh my god, I love Drag Race. I love this queen, blah 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 blah." All these types of things. And you know what? I feel like somebody has to go home first. So it might
Yeah.
as well be Maddie Morphosis.
Maddie may surprise us. We'll
Hey,
see.
you never know, right? That was just a little
Yeah,
shady joke.
exactly. Well, perfect. All right. Well, we've got to move on because and in the same vein, there is a show on HBO, right, Cody?
Yes.
We're Here, the
Hmm.
HBO series, and a pastor dressed in drag for the show We're
Hmm.
Here. The blowback led to him being relieved of his duties. So this guy, he said, I just wanted to say this. He said, following his drag performance on the show We're Here, if you're a person here tonight and you're wondering if there's hope and a future and a God who loves you, oh yes, there is. Don't wait until you have permission to do what you were made to do. Go out and love everybody. And this is him talking in his um, how he believes in his United Methodist Church in Newburgh, where he is the pastor there, or was, I
Hmm.
should say,
Hmm.
because once he did the show, he's always presented an inclusive environment to
Yeah.
everybody. Every constituent could come there to his church, and he's always believed that. His wife, Linda, um, I think was really supportive of this. So he went on the show, and who was the drag queen from season 13, or who are the drag queens that are on We're Here?
So his mentor was Eureka O'Hara, and I think that's the season 13 queen.
Eureka. Yes, I love Eureka.
Yes, we both. I love Eureka too. But
Yeah.
also Bob the drag queen is on there, and Shangela is on We're Here as well.
Right. And I'll post some of the pictures. I'm not sure if I have them here, but I'll find some because and you can also watch the show on HBO as well. But to see
It's a good show.
him, I haven't watched it yet. Is it
It's
good?
so good. It makes you
Okay.
cry. It makes you laugh. It gives you all the feels. So,
Well, sadly, he did this, the pastor, and when the show aired, his church got wind of it, and they relieved him of his duties
yes.
once they saw this. And it's so sad. I guess the only good news is that some of the queens have created a GoFundMe page, correct? And are raising money. Yeah, it was a separate article that I read about this, and they are raising funds. I think they're already up to just shy of $20,000 because they're wondering, he doesn't pay for living arrangements because he lives, I think he gets housing, but now is he going to be homeless?
Yeah.
All for just putting on, putting on somebody else's shoes and going in drag to understand. And I think it's so sad.
I think it's sad too. He did it to his daughter is pansexual. So he did it to make her feel more welcome and less ostracized by the world by showing her that, drag is a state of mind. It's for everybody. And this is something, it's a human experience, and drag is just what your outside doesn't matter, it's your inside that matters. And he spread such a gospel of love and acceptance, and then he was rejected by his church. It was just heartbreaking to me.
Yeah.
I think he's too good for that church, and he needs to move to a more gay friendly church, and where he'll be much more appreciated. I for one would like to go and
start his own. It would be great if he could kind of start his own, because I'm so not for church anymore since back in the Catholic days. But if he started a church, maybe online or something, and had people, you can still take people when they come around the pews and collect money. You can still collect money and
tithing.
Yeah, you could do that.
On the collection plate.
I would produce his podcast for him. And,
look at that.
All that good stuff. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Right.
He has options. And being on We're Here, I'm sure he has found so many outlets to where he can be supported, because that church is
the queens are supporting him, raising all this money. I will post that because it was a different one than you sent me, Kodi.
Yeah.
And the one I have has the OnlyFans link and tells how much money they've raised for him, because they felt really
the
bad.
You said OnlyFans. You mean the GoFundMe?
Sorry, GoFundMe. Thank you. Yeah. I did say I'm a little under the weather. So
no.
Yeah,
I just want the people to go to OnlyFans and be like, the pastor OnlyFans.
Thank you for that correction. I appreciate that. No, he does not have an OnlyFans that I know of. I meant GoFundMe. GoFundMe.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Too funny. All right. Well, moving on, we've got some other great hot topics for you. And there was a recent article that caught my attention of gay guys describe hooking up without speaking the same language.
Oh.
And immediately I had to read about this. Sounds like a lot of guys have gotten their passports stamped, they write, if you know what we mean. Reddit users in the Ask Gay Bros subreddit chimed in with more than 180 comments after one person asked, have you ever hooked up with a guy where the two of you didn't speak the same language at all? And from a bar stool encounter in Mexico to an airport lounge hookup in Munich, there was some really hot, goofy anecdotes on the thread. Yes, in a public restroom, wrote somebody, he was Asian and we didn't require words, only gestures. And I mean, who doesn't know how to gesture a blowjob? Okay. Somebody else
doing it right now.
Somebody else wrote, quite a few times the animal part of the brain just takes over and it's easy to communicate affection. Somebody else wrote, frequently, it's honestly great to cut through the bullshit. A little Google Translate, a few meaningful sentences, and you're off. And I have
Yeah.
to say, there's more. I'll post this on TAGSPodcast.com. But
Nice.
for me personally, I think I told this story before, but I was in Rome and I was on crutches. I
Ooh.
had been in this Nike fashion show and we had planned this trip way in advance and I had ruptured my Achilles tendon, but I still had this trip planned. So I went to Rome and I was in a bar not feeling great because everywhere you go in Europe or at least in Rome is like cobblestones. And I
Okay.
remember going into the bar, it was on a street where you had to walk down 2 steps, open the door, lean back, walk in, walk up 3 steps on
Oh
crutches.
no.
And then we were standing in this bar, Phil, and at that time it was in 2002. People were still smoking in the bar
Ugh.
and it was crowded and I was not feeling it because I was just like, ugh, and just hot with the underarms on the crutches. And so finally, my friend motions that there's this hot Roman guy looking at me with blue
Ooh.
piercing eyes. So I said, oh, but he's not going to find me attractive. This isn't going to happen. He says, no, he's looking over here. Well, lo and
What?
behold, somehow I think he came over to me or I gave him the eye back. And he spoke, I think, 2 words in English and I spoke no Italian, but it was enough that my friends let me go off with him. And he had a Vespa, very Roman, right? We went on his Vespa and I'm like, oh, what are we going to do with the crutches? He says, no problem. And he put them on the side of the Vespa and we whisked
Wow.
off and ended up like fucking with my cast because I had a cast on in the air. And it was great. The next day,
That sounds amazing.
the next day after fucking again, he drove me all around. We kind of had this mini romance with minimal words. And this was 2002 before we had Google and all that. But I knew enough Spanish and Italian is a little bit
Okay.
like the romance language. And so we kind of met in the middle of with Spanish and then just that romance
Oh.
that you can feel. And it's funny, Cody, because I've done it in Brazil too, where the common denominator is Spanish, where they speak Portuguese and I speak
Yes.
some Spanish. We meet in that Spanish world of
In
communication
the middle. Yeah.
when we're not fucking. Yeah. Roman
That's
holiday,
so
yes,
fun.
Teddy. Roman
No,
holiday. Roman
ro
holiday. Oh, I love that. I didn't see that. Roman holiday. I love
Yes.
that.
It's so good.
Absolutely. Yes, it was so good. I still
Nice.
follow him on, he's a prominent makeup artist. Really
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah, I still follow him on Facebook because, and I found him again. Facebook, I don't believe, was around in 2002. It wasn't. So
Mhm.
I found him all these years later. And yeah, it's really good. What are your thoughts on
The
this,
dick
Cody?
was that good that you
The di-
found him?
yes, because I was going back to Rome and I thought if he could like me in a cast with, half a gimp,
Yeah.
then I'm the cast off now and I feel like I'm working out more. He's going to love me now.
Yeah.
We
I
never hooked
see
up
it.
again, but he was very sweet. We communicated a few different times and yeah, but oh yeah, the power of language that is
Body language.
body language. How about yourself? What are your thoughts on this topic?
Oh, definitely. I love to visit foreign lands. Does London count? I don't no, they
Yeah.
speak no,
Oh, well,
they speak English
they
there.
speak English, yes, right.
No, but I remember one time being in France. I was there. I went all alone, and a friend met me a little bit later on. But the first night, I went out to the gay club by myself. I was in the club. I haven't had my drink, and just like you, across the bar, this guy started checking me out, and we didn't speak very much because he didn't really speak that much English. I didn't. My French is very bare bones basic.
Okay, in other words, you don't speak.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Okay,
basically.
well, hey, that's the best thing you need to know.
Thank you, Patti LaBelle.
Yeah, thank you, Patti LaBelle, exactly.
Yeah. So he was bald. He had blue eyes. They were so
Ooh.
piercing. He was gorgeous. He was very muscly too. And I remember him being maybe just a little bit older than me. I don't know. We didn't really speak the same language, so I
Right,
have no
right. He
idea.
could have been, and you can't tell always with the French, so right.
It's true. It's true. But he was very, very sexy. He, I guess, gestured to let's go outside to the alley, and I went out into the
Ooh,
alley and I did him right in the alley, and it was so
really?
fucking hot. And it wasn't even like an alley that was hidden. I feel like it was a very shallow alley,
Yeah.
and I feel like people were walking by and they could see us fucking.
Wow, that's pretty bold. Well, it was
It
Paris,
was
right?
Paris. Yes.
Yeah, of
Hello, the
course.
Parisians are okay with that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it is possible, I think. If I think a longer term relationship, it's going to be a little challenging. Like I said, for me, that Spanish has always been a good conduit of meeting in the
Mhm.
middle somewhere. And if you're dealing with the romance languages, right? Like,
Yeah. So French
yeah,
was I could have had that French Spanish layover that you were talking about before.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a
So,
little bit more
but
challenging, but
speaking of Spanish, have you ever hooked up in PV and not really known any of the language or not really
oh,
understood the
the Spanish?
yeah, the Spanish?
Well, recently I met a guy there that he spoke mostly only Spanish, and
Mhm.
my Spanish is getting a lot better the more and the
Mine
more I
is
go
too.
there. So we were able to communicate fairly well, and I dated a long-term guy, but he spoke English and
Yeah.
Spanish. But these days in PV, they know enough English
They speak enough
typically
English.
because of so much tourists and Canadians and Americans coming there. And I definitely know I'm pretty confident, getting by with my Spanish now. So we
Same
can make
here.
it work there. Yeah.
That's true. Only reason I bring it up is because I had a really good hot
Oh,
hookup in
y-
PV one time. He was a stripper at the what was the place that you
oh,
visited?
wet dreams. Wet
Wet
dream.
Dreams. And
Yeah.
I was tipping him and he was feeling me and I took him back to my hotel and we got it on. And I follow him on Instagram and Facebook and we're good Facebook friends now.
I like that.
Yeah.
See, you kept in contact too.
I know, right? The ass was that good.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, see? And it can still you can even continue a friendship afterwards too.
It's
So
true.
like my
He's a good dude.
nice, nice. All right, well moving on. There is a recent Reddit thread that asked this person wants advice on picking up guys in social settings. I
Ooh.
really love this story
Yeah.
because we're always talking about guys on the apps, and I'm always talking about how I do well in bars over the apps.
Mhm.
So this story was everything to me. I have been dependent, they write, on Grinder and other dating apps to pick up guys my entire life. I'm slightly embarrassed to say that I have never brought a guy home from a bar or any other social setting before. And I think a lot of people can agree that the apps get boring and even frustrating at times, right,
Yeah.
Cody? There's no
I totally
cocktail.
agree.
I
Everything's better with a cocktail.
exactly. I've been especially tired of them lately, so I've resolved to try something new. I want to learn to confidently and effectively meet guys in person and seal the deal. I was going to talk to this guy at the gym this morning who was clearly checking me out, but I got nervous and ended up leaving before I could think of something to say. And they write,
Mhm.
any advice,
I've been there.
guys, tips, tricks, resources, or sage wisdom would be appreciated. I like that. And what's your thoughts on this, Cody? What advice would you give to this person who's typically on the apps but wants to get some game going when they go out?
I say take friends with you so that you can feel more comfortable. I For me it's all about being comfortable in a social setting. So if it takes you a minute to get going, don't judge yourself for that. Don't force yourself to or put yourself out there too quickly, because you need to feel comfortable. You don't want to be awkward when you're talking to somebody, because that is a whole nother animal. I think that at the gym, it's really before, as far as seeing somebody that you think is checking you out at the gym, and then you go over there and you say, "Hi, how are you doing?" And they're
Yeah.
like, "I'm on my
I-
third set. You can have this after I'm done."
Yeah, I feel like that when you really have to know, because the other thing is, chances are you're a regular at that gym and so are
Yeah,
they.
yeah.
And can you imagine putting your foot in your mouth and thinking, "Hey, what's going on?" And they're like, "Who are you?" Like all this time you thought they were
Why are you
looking at
here?
you, but they were just looking in that direction and you misconstrued that. Um,
I
on the other hand, though, I was at Gold's Gym Hollywood,
Okay.
I guess earlier this year, and a guy, some guys are really out there, and he
Mhm.
he made no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He just like came in front of me when I was like, doing the
Ooh.
chest press, and
Mhm.
did one of those like, and looked right
He made it
at me.
real.
He made it real, and then was
Evident.
flirting, and then
Yeah.
was like, and I didn't even know who he was, and I wasn't looking at him. So that's
Mhm.
another way of going about it, but you have to have uber confidence, right, when you
Confident.
do that.
Yeah.
And take a
Yeah, I agree.
testosterone drink or something before you go to, or really, I really believe you do, because I couldn't do that.
Yeah, and I say just start up a casual conversation. Don't go up to somebody with the intent of saying, "Oh, you want to go back to my place right now?" I think that's a little bit strange and weird and kind of pushing things into an awkward direction. Say, "How are you doing? Do you mind if I work in with you if you're at the gym?" Anything casual, and just to gauge their reciprocity as far as their attraction to you is concerned. That's
when I
my
first
advice. What about you?
moved when I first moved to New York City, I worked
Mhm.
out at this gym, David Barton,
Mhm.
around the
Ooh,
corner. It's now a Crunch, but
fancy.
I'll never forget, Anderson Cooper asked to work in on the calf machine with me and was lingering around
Uh-huh.
my area, and it was on a Sunday night when the gym wasn't busy at all.
Okay.
And yeah, and I was so excited, but I was so nervous that,
He could have
like,
been doing a million other things. He was trying to get it.
no, he definitely. I mean, there was no reason he had to be in this. I mean, we're talking like a calf machine, and
Yeah.
he asked me my name, and he said, "Oh, I'm Anderson." And I was like thinking, I know, but
He was trying to get it, Steve.
yeah.
You could be Mrs. Cooper right now. What is going on?
Well, he has a son now. I don't know if I'm ready to be a stepmom. But no, but back to your advice though, Cody, about, I don't know if I agree so much about going with your friends, because we all know
Okay.
groups of guys that go with their friends, maybe just to get some courage and have a little
Yeah.
liquid courage, but
Okay.
then you need to really split off, because it's too easy. I see it all the time when I go to my bars. Guys come in with their groups of friends, and heaven forbid one of you decides to talk to somebody else or go in a different direction. All your friends' eyes are going to be like looking at your business over there and
Okay.
rating you. And what I find best for me personally is I love going to bars by myself, sidling up to the bar, pick bars that aren't like crazy booming Saturday night, but
Okay.
find a bar that you can go to where you can sit at the bar. I love talking to the bartenders because they are your best friends. They will also give you the tea on what's going on, and inevitably people will come by you. This happens to me all the time, and you
Oh,
you might
you
talk
just
to
be
people.
attracting people.
Well, not all of them I'm interested in, nor are they
Uh-huh.
probably, but I find it's a good place to start to strike up conversations about whatever's going on. If it's, whatever is going on in the bar, you'll just
It's true.
naturally strike up a conversation, and it can be kind of fun to see who you're going to be talking to. Now,
Mhm.
again, you might not be attracted to everybody that comes by you, but if you think about a bar, some of them you might see somebody across the way that's
Mhm.
kind of piques your interest. You could try and get their eye. You can move over there, closer to them. You might find people come up to you and just practice being friendly and talking just like you'd want to talk to anybody. It's really fun. It's one of my favorite things to do is to go to bars by myself. I do it all the time, and I meet so many people, and not just guys that I'm interested in, you know,
Mhm.
either way, I meet some cool people.
Interesting
But
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But and then when I see somebody, then I might dart over there or catch their eye or that kind of thing.
Hmm. What do you think about going with just one friend who is in the same boat as you as far as going to try and figure out and meet other people? That can be a nice support system for you.
It
Like we used to
can.
do.
Yeah,
Or got a
absolutely.
boyfriend.
I mean, I just think you might find yourself so in conversation if everyone's on the same page that,
Yes.
yeah, if we see somebody or I see somebody or you see somebody, then I think it's really good to kind of open it up to that, a lot of people might get offended if you go with a friend that thinks, I thought we were hanging out tonight, like girls' night out, and what's going on here? I had a
No,
friend
there
like
needs
that
to be an
before.
understanding
Then you're
because
then thank you. There needs to be an understanding
when you and
that
I would go out, you would go that way,
no
I would go this way, and I'd
problem.
be like, "I'll see you in a few."
Yeah, all good in the hood.
That's right.
Absolutely. What are people saying, Cody?
Alan said it's easy to strike up a conversation at Boxers, which is a local New York City bar. And as you can talk
Yes,
about the
good
game
one.
that's on, even if it's
Yep.
not a game that you're really interested in. So it's kind of just bring up the things that are going on around you in the bar. I agree with that. And
You know
Teddy
what?
agrees with me.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What were we going to say?
One thought on the sports bar is
Uh huh.
I've got a story for everything for being a little under the weather today. But I
Good.
remember going to gym bar over the
Mhm.
summer, and it was the
Oh,
Olympics,
some that bar.
and men's gymnastics was on the TV screen, and it was like, who's not into men's gymnastics, right?
Right?
It was an
Those booties.
amazing time to watch that. Even if you're not into sports, you're going to be into men's gymnastics, and that's a great thing. Little note coming up, February is going to be the Winter Games. So they're going to be at all the sports bars. So, not that you want to wait till February, but at least, there'll be something going on that's kind of interesting that
Yeah.
during the Winter Games. So you
The
can
winter
keep that in
games, they
mind.
have on too many clothes, though, for me.
They do, but a good ice skating moment would be great to
Oh, that's
watch.
true, that's
Or,
true.
it's just we're not trying to have it be porn, right? But
Eh,
but to
okay,
strike up
if you say so.
a conversation to somebody, yeah, yeah.
And Teddy agrees with me. He thinks that a hype man is good. A
Mm,
nice support system with a
yeah,
mutual understanding.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, I think, to go
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Absolutely. What did Alan Summer Olympics watching the diving? Yes, the diving. There was so
Yes.
much to watch. Yeah. Great sports to watch during when you go to a sports bar. Absolutely. All right. Well, it's come up time for our favorite segment, Cody.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's the thirst trap. And this week, we get this from straight up gay porn. And believe it or not, all year long, they've been putting together these several porn stars and who took the best shot in really hot, sexy, naked shots. And they're coming up on the year, and they decided to put two. I'll just read it. You voted in dozens of thirst trap recap polls all year long, and now it's time to decide the ultimate thirst trap king. For the first
Yes.
time ever, this year's Thirst Trap King contest is part of the 2022 Straight Up Gay Porn Awards, and the nominees in the other 18 categories will be revealed this Thursday. So, meaning that in addition to earning the title of Thirst Trap King, the winner will also receive a Straight Up Gay Porn Award trophy. So, all these categories, thirst traps that we've been talking about all year
Uh-huh.
long, many
Ooh.
of them are up for Thirst Trap King and will be included in the Straight Up Gay Porn Awards. And one of them will receive like a whole trophy, which is kind of cool.
That's
They
awesome.
divided out of 47 finalists in the Thirst Trap King. They decided to split it up. So this week we
Okay.
have 23 of them that are going to be up for voting. I'm going to put this
Okay.
in. You already put it in
All
there.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And then next
Pleasure.
week will be another 24 finals. And then they're going to get 5 of the top of this week's, 5 of the top
Mm-hmm.
of next week's. And then they'll vote out of those top 10. One of them will be in the Straight Up Gay Porn Awards and be the winner. So, Kodi, who is your favorite and why to get this week's?
Okay, so for me, I cannot believe we're at the Thirst Trap Super Bowl right now. This is amazing. I'm so excited. I got my dream team together, and I think we should start a fantasy Thirst Trap league. Okay, we can put
This
some
is the
money in.
Super Bowl of it all. Yes, exactly.
And understandably, this week every picture was so hot. I was like, just my jaw was on the floor. It's the final, so it's so understandable. I can't wait to see who's on next week's list because I damn near flooded my basement this week.
I love it.
My vote goes to someone that I have in my mouth every week. I mean, his name, not him personally.
Okay.
Italo Andrade, and I still don't know if I'm saying that correctly.
Andrade, yes, Andrade.
Yes.
That was going to be my pick too.
Oh no. Okay, well, I have a good second.
But you know what? That could be
in the poll. I voted for him in the poll, and that's all that matters because I think he's going to be in the finals because we keep. Italo is so hot, Teddy says.
Yeah, there's something about he's got beautiful skin and that tiny little Clark Gable mustache. If you guys know who Clark Gable is, really amazing tattoos, that big ass dick, and a smile for days with beautiful lips. He seems confident and nice. I think he's versatile too, right? I've seen him do both. Take it and give it. Really amazing.
Yeah.
Am I right on that? Yeah.
I think so. I'm pretty sure. And he's someone that I thought that was sexy from the very first time that I saw him. Like every time he's on the list, I'm like, Italo. And
yeah. So I'm voting right now on this list, and I just casted my vote. But we can see what else is anybody else saying?
Teddy said Italo too. Roxas Callum, he says. Roxas Callum has his vote, and I thought Roxas as well. He's got a huge dick as well. But one of my favorites was Diego Daniels.
I liked him too.
He almost took. Why are we agreeing at the end of the year? This is crazy. We never agree.
Diego's not doing so good. I'm looking at the stats currently, and he's a little further down. Our Italo, though, is currently number 3 on the list.
Number 3. I'm so excited.
As is Roxas, Roxas Callum. Didn't you mention him too?
Yes, that's who Teddy voted for. And then
he's number 5 currently on the list.
Okay,
at 6,
so we got to vote for him more. Get Roxas in the top in the finals, guys. Also, Silas says,
"Oh, right, you're right because Dean Young. Okay, let me see where he's doing.
I don't think he's he's in the top 5 though, but I thought he was really cute. He's got the cucumber.
Oh no, oh yeah, I like him too. Yeah, he's very sexy. I actually
that's such a funny sentence for me to say because he's got the cucumber up his butt.
Yeah, he's
never
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th place right now. And remember, only five of them can make it to the finals, right?
Yes,
Kodi. Yeah.
Yes.
So. Who's Zach Astor? Zach Astor, because he's number 1 currently.
Zach Astor? I don't know who is Zach Astor.
He's on this list. I know. Well, anyway, he's currently number 1 on this list. It's funny that none of us seem to know who Zach is.
I know, right?
I'm trying to find him really quick. We've got to wrap this up. Zach. No, that's so weird.
Oh, I see him. He's right underneath Alex Grant. He's not my cup of tea. He's cute. I think he's number 3 down.
Oh my God, he's number 1. Uh-uh.
You shady bitch. I was gonna say that too. What?
And look at that messy suitcase in the background at that bed. It's like, what is going on in this picture?
I mean,
Oh no.
like I
We
said,
have
he's
got
not my cup
to,
of tea.
guys, you
You
got
were
to
just
vote.
like
And
Teddy says she's rough. I agree. Okay.
she's a little rough. Yeah, that's funny. A little rough to be number one, and not in that rough kind of rugged
Sexy
way.
rough. It's like
Yeah,
rough.
interesting.
Like, ooh, she needs a give her $1. No, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
horrible.
Oh my God. Silas says not a great list. Well, these are the finalists.
Hey,
Maybe Silas, you'll have to check out next week's when we've got 24, and because ultimately they're going to pick the number one, only one, right, Cody?
yes,
Yeah.
one is
So
going to be king, and they're going to get a trophy,
yeah,
which I'm
at the
excited
Straight
about.
Up Gay Porn Awards and for 2022. All right. Well, this has been so much fun. Thank you for playing as always. All this will be up on TAGSPodcast.com on Thursday when this comes out in the morning. I want to thank my co-host, Kodi Maurice Doggette. Thanks, Cody. Thanks
Thank
for
you, darling.
playing. So much fun. Hi,
Always.
Silas. Follow him. He's a life coach at KMD Coaching or on his personal account at Mr. Maurice. And you can always follow us on the TikTok or on Instagram. I like saying that at
The
Tags
TikTok.
Podcast on the TikTok at Tags Podcast. And in the meantime, continue having hot gay
sex.
sex. Yes, absolutely. Very